What's up, guys? And we are back with the Erik Jones What If. This Atlanta race, it started off pretty calm, and I was pretty excited for this race because I gave Atlanta pretty good tire wear because, I mean, it's old Atlanta. It's pretty good Atlanta. A lot of tire wear and all of this. So I was excited for this race to get, strung out on the long run, but have a lot of pit strategy. Restarts were really chaotic for this race, especially when drivers were on offsetting tires to others. And the start of this race was really fun. Alex Bowman went 3 wide for second place, and Erik Jones, he qualified pretty decent for this race. Actually, dang, where is he? I forgot. I guess he qualified like 15th or something, right? Yeah, there he is back there. Erik Jones, not an astonishing first 3 races. He had a good race at Homestead, but the Daytona 500 and Daytona Road Course were nothing really to write home about, otherwise from the good start of the Daytona Road Course. But this Atlanta race, while starting off calm, would certainly just turn into the actual opposite direction from about lap 10 on. I'm pretty sure. I kind of forgot. But Denny Hamlin would take the lead of this race early on, and Truex and Harvick were up there, and that was pretty much the 3 guys who had really good pace all day. You had a lot of moments where there was 4 wide racing and stuff like that. Ricky Stenhouse and Austin Dillon were also up in the top 10, and Chris Buescher. Kyle Busch would end up making a move for 3rd, and just like Homestead, the Gibbs cars would be dominant again. But there was an early caution for a bunch of back markers wrecking, and it's to the point to where the same back markers are wrecking every time, so I'm just going to skip past most back marker incidents. If I ever skip past an incident, it was probably just a normal spin or like Josh Bilicki and Garrett Smithley wrecking. Like, that's really all there is to it. It's just a crash where there's nothing to write home about. Kevin Harvick would move up to 3rd on this restart. And Brad Keselowski and Erik Almirola would establish himself in the top 10 here and really be here the rest of the day. But there was another caution. To this point, though, there was actual pit strategy. Some people decided to stay out, which, with Atlanta's tire wear, even having like 5-lap older tires than someone was really significant, like really huge. It isn't like a next-gen race to where nothing matters nowadays. But Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, Matty D, Ryan Preece, William Byron, Corey LaJoie, and I think Christopher Bell and others maybe were stayed out here. As you can see, Joey Logano used up Christopher Bell more than a stripper pole and almost walled him. But you can see here on the offsetting tires are created for chaotic restarts. And Erik Almirola and Harvick were able to work together, get past literally everyone, and fly by everyone on old tires. I mean, they got destroyed here. And Hamlin was also able to follow them through. Ryan Blaney and Keselowski were next. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who had really strong pace this race. This was also another race where Ross Chastain had top 10 pace and was starting to actually show potential for next season, where I heard he might be going to Trackhouse. I don't know. God, I'm just so cringe. Erik Jones went 4 wide here. He nearly killed Ryan Newman. But, Newman's faced worse accidents before. I don't know. I tried like an eerie reference to Daytona there. But we had another caution. Again, it was just more back marker. There was a lot of back marker wrecks this race. But Michael McDowell had a really strong pace in this race. He would charge past. Ryan Blaney would get into the top 2. Ryan Newman was up here. Bubba Wallace had established himself as a top 10 driver this race. I'm just going to stop talking. But there was another caution immediately. This is when this race devolved into a wreck fest. Cody Ware wrecked this time around. And we went back green. Harvick took the lead and just fucked off into the distance. I mean, that's pretty much what happened on every restart, him or Hamlin, but then there was another backmarker crash. Man, if I had a nickel for every time there was a backmarker crash in one of these videos. The restarts were still pretty chaotic and fun to watch, but Chase Elliott got yeeted into the wall here, and that actually caused a crash worth showing. Ross Chastain was involved, Gregson, Josh Bilicki, Garrett Smithley, everyone. Not everyone, just like 3 good drivers and 8 bad ones. But what happened here, Preece just killed Chase into the wall, and that caused him to get collected and, and just wreck a bunch of people. On the restart, There was some strategy. Joey Logano had actually managed to get a good pit stop, get up front. Kevin Harvick was running up front all day until this happened. He got into the wall, fell back a bunch of spots. My cat is scratching at the door. You just came in here. Why are you wanting to leave immediately after coming in? But Erik Jones was able to make moves past Kyle Busch and William Byron here and move up into the top 6. Jones was on a warpath and moving fast. But there was another caution, and Ricky Stenhouse had a really good pit stop and was able to establish himself going for the lead. And Stenhouse, he had the pace. I guess he just needed, the best track position possible to really make it happen. He had been in the top 10 all day, but now he's in the top 3. There was another crash for, I mean, you can guess who's causing the cautions at this point. But on the restart, this order of Truex, Hamlin, and Stenhouse stayed the same. But Truex would eventually run into problems at some point here with about 14 to go. I forgot when it is, but it is soon. Sorry to spoil Truex fans. But Erik Jones was moving. This was very similar to Homestead, to where nearing the end of the race, he actually showed really strong pace. But Ricky Stenhouse was trying to get at Denny Hamlin, and he actually looked faster than him. But we would eventually have a caution pretty much immediately. Like right here, yeah. Again, there was just a bunch of backmarker wrecks this race. Just the same people. God, you can't make it up. We'd end up going back green again, and Truex would have problems under the caution or something along those lines, and he would basically be a non-factor. He was out of contention. Whatever happened, I have no clue. But Bowman also was able to establish himself as having a shot for the win truly here, and Stenhouse was hounding Denny Hamlin. But we literally had a caution immediately here, pretty much. And as you can see, everybody's slowing down and stuff like that. And Erik Jones actually had a shot at this win. Sorry, we have a caution in like 5 seconds. Man, I need to start writing a script for these videos, as that's when it happened. There was the caution. I need to start writing a script for these videos. Anyway, it was a Rick Ware car. Yeah, good God, if I say that again. But on this restart, it was Stenhouse versus Hamlin. And I guess Stenhouse just owns Denny Hamlin. He totally did not jump this restart here. Totally not. But yeah, I guess he got away with it. And Ricky Stenhouse, he pulled Denny Hamlin, just the short run car of the century. And yes, you're not like deceived. Ricky Stenhouse, he won this race, and pretty easily at that. I mean, he was able to easily win it here and get the win at Atlanta. Easily win it and get the win at Atlanta. That is grammar that would make, I don't know, Shakespeare cry. We went on to Martinsville, where after a chaotic race at Atlanta, you would expect Martinsville to have some of the same chaos, but believe it or not, this race really didn't. This race had no cautions. Tyler Reddick started on the pole and was actually able to lead the first few laps. First 8 laps, Tyler Reddick was able to lead. And basically, Reddick had a strong start, and also RCR clearly just brought rockets to the track as Austin Dillon was yet again running up front. But this race was mainly just Truex and Chase Elliott. Truex was able to get past Reddick here by lap 8, ruining the short-lived dominance for Tyler Reddick. Watching 2026 right now, he wouldn't have to wait only a couple years to just be fulfilled. I'm just yapping about bullshit again. But Chase Elliott would actually give Reddick the bumper here, move past him, and it was literally Truex and Elliott 1-2 for the entire race except for 10 laps. Truex dominated and won this race oh my God. Excuse me. Won this race pretty easily. Austin Dillon had a really good race, and you're probably wondering, where is Erik Jones? Erik Jones qualified 20th and was legitimately irrelevant the entire race, and I have no clue why. After Martinsville, the next race was Phoenix. And, Phoenix was a race I was excited for, as I say that literally about every track we go to in this sim, it seems. But Phoenix has really fun restarts, much like real life. And, it usually causes calamity. Most of the time on the back of the pack, though. But Blaney was able to get past Hamlin here, or at least bring a fight to him, as the whole first part of this race was Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin pretty much. Michael McDowell also, again, there you see it, qualifying in the top 10, having really strong pace. The 34 team, I mean, just give McDowell better equipment, he might win a championship. That was rage bait. But Ryan Blaney and Hamlin would pretty much stick it out side by side here. And you could see 4 wide in the back and stuff like that. Erik Jones trying to make things happen. Finally, in a different scheme from the Nation's Guard car, whatever you want to even call it. Austin Dillon, Matty D, Bubba in the DoorDash car. Who cares? William Byron also had strong pace this race, and for really the first time all season that I'd seen him with this pace, actually with the pace to win. We ended up having an early caution for a back marker. William Byron would end up jumping the restart and taking the lead from Ryan Blaney. Ryan Newman, again, also had a really fast car. And it seems like it's going to be a common thing from just how this video will end up playing out. But Reddick, LaJoy, and Custer getting 3 wide here. Stewart Haas has had really strong cars as well, which for 2021, I'm not really sure. I don't know how they're doing this good, but here we are. Bubba would actually shunt it into Erik Jones here and cause Bell to take it 3 wide. And Bell, he hadn't had a really strong pace all season, or all the first few races until then, but Martin Truex Jr. would end up getting wrecked here. And, I showed it. It was a really, kind of just lame crash, but it involved Truex, who, I guess, just was shuffled back here and just, got involved with Ty Dillon in the 43 car. Man, RPM needs just a resurgence at this point. But, the next few restarts would be Blaney and Byron going at it with Bubba, too. He's pretty solid at Phoenix, but him running third here was really impressive for a moment in time. And like I said with Christopher Bell, too, Christopher Bell really he just hasn't shown that much pace. So for him to do this race and actually have strong pace was huge. We actually had some mixed up pit strategy under the next caution caused by back markers. And Corey LaJoy would go 3 wide for the lead here. And Matty D also and Logano found themselves up front due to pit strategy. Matty D would take his run and literally destroy the entire field. This was all on Matty D here, I'm not going to lie. He just took his run and just didn't let off, didn't have maybe a spot, or maybe there was a miscommunication or something like that. I don't know, but as you can see from Tyler Reddick's view here, Matty D gets a run and just drives through LaJoy, Bell, and Logano, and took out a lot of good cars here out of contention. And Byron would take the lead here, once again jumping the restart. And Custer would actually go to the inside again. I have no idea why Stewart Haas is doing this good. But this restart would once again be chaotic, but wouldn't involve, the whole field crashing or anything like that, like we had just seen. Actually, some guys involved in that crash were able to steer clear and be fine. We would actually have a decent green flag run here. Reddick would hold second for a little bit, fall back rapidly, much like how he did in the Martinsville race, but Kevin Harvick was catching William Byron. He fought his way through the pack and was catching him. But then we would have a caution for Cody Ware. Now, Cody Ware causing a caution, that's not out of the ordinary. But I was confused as to what happened, and here, he just had a mechanical failure, and David Reagan just destroyed him. Oh my good God. Harvick on the outside, he actually did not jump this restart, which that was just a nice change of pace for once for the outside, not jumping a restart. Him and Byron would go at it for a little bit. Ross Chastain would even get in the mix here, take it 3 wide for the lead, try to hold it on the bottom, but that Ganassi car just didn't have the pace to keep up with the two powerhouses. I just called SHR in the 2020s a powerhouse. Harvick would eventually get to the inside of Byron here after filing back into line and would take the lead, and that might as well have been the end of the race right there. Yes, Kevin Harvick dominated this race, and there wasn't a caution for the rest of this race. He would take the lead from Byron here, and even Chase would get past him, and Harvick would lead the rest of the day. with no issues. As you can see, Byron would fall to 4th, Hamlin with a good finish, Bowman, and Erik Jones was 7th. Erik Jones, strong pace towards the end, and all SHR cars finished in the top 10. Again, them doing this in 2021 is pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Harvick would win. I mean, Phoenix is Harvick's playground. That's not really too much of a surprise there. On to Bristol, baby. Bristol, Harvick started on pole, pulled out to an early lead, and there wasn't too much that happened in like the first quarter of this race. The only thing notable was that Josh Bilicki was able to hold up Kyle Busch for quite literally 10 laps, and Busch could not get past him. And this allowed Harvick to get like a 2.5 second lead, a 2 second lead. And Bilicki would hold up Busch so much to the point to where like 5 cars caught to the back of him. But past that, there wasn't too much that happened this first like quarter of this Bristol race. Excuse me, Christ. But this race would have a lot of cautions, so otherwise for Martinsville, this race would be a actual shit fest. Man, I mean, just Josh Bilicki, just give him a Hendrick ride. But yes, Bell would clear himself on Ryan Preece here and kick off the string of cautions. David Reagan would hit him, because of course he would. And I'm just going to skip through a lot of this race, show a lot of the wrecks, because that's literally all this race was. We would go like 5 laps, have a substantial crash, and yeah, that's about it. Noah Gragson got wrecked here, and on the race down to avoid the crash, Garrett Smithley hit the pit wall and hit Joey Logano and caused Logano to get on Bowman's hood. What was this race? There was another caution just showing big crashes here. I mean, this is literally how the next, 60 laps of this race was. Just a bunch of track blocking accidents and stuff like that. Here's Kaz Gralla was making some starts. I added him into the grid. Here, as you can see, he comes down, Stenhouse. I mean, yeah, and collects Byron, Blaney. Also, another thing I need to note. I turned off better cautions for this race because at short tracks, better cautions tends to cause problems because this game is a little weird. So yes, that is lap cars you see on the bottom group, but Erik Jones was actually able to take the lead under caution with pit strategy and lead laps. This is finally what we have been waiting to see, and I know the Jones fans watching this have been waiting to see this. This is what Erik Jones fans think he is capable of if he gets into a good ride. But we'd eventually have more cautions and stuff like that. Harvick would get shuffled to 11th. He ended up pitting here. And Ryan Newman again had a shot at the win and had a really good pace. But Erik Jones still looked like he had the fastest car towards the end of this race, at least on the short run. And there's Matty D at Bristol. Surprise, surprise. We'd had more cautions, but here after this caution, Erik Jones did not have a good pit stop. So Ryan Newman was able to take the lead here. And getting around lap cars for a few people it caused problems. It slowed him up, as you can see with Matty D and Byron getting held up here. But Erik Jones, he locked in and was actually able to claw his way through the lap traffic and pass Byron and pass Matty D before the next yellow, which was huge and gave Jones a shot back at the lead, back at Newman. There was now 12 laps to go, and yes, since this race had to have old NASCAR caution rules, this race could end under caution, so it was crucial that Jones got the lead as fast as possible. He would end up getting slowed up on this restart, however, by lap traffic. And the outside line, it will work after a while, but it is slower at first. It low-key just depended on the driver in this race. It was actually kind of cool to see. But we would eventually have another caution because, of course, we would. Here, this caution was because of, just a backmarker crash. There was 7 to go. Now, this is when everybody got single file. Now, Erik Jones was all over Newman. And Erik Jones did have a little bit of a faster car, but at the same time, Newman was really fast too. Newman had also, I cannot remember the last time Ryan Newman won a race. When was the last time he won a race? Before 2021. Because he didn't win in who cares? But Erik Jones was all over the back of Newman here. And here, as you can see, I tried to replicate that infamous clip of like Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon going at it in that 0-2 race at Bristol, and showed like the cam of Gordon all over Rusty's ass. But with the like quality looking like it's from a Nintendo 3DS, there's probably no aura coming from this clip for y'all. I'm sorry. But Erik Jones, even with a damaged hood, just faster than Newman just a little bit, was all over his bumper. And boom. Yep, there you have it. Just when things were about to get good, a caution comes out, ruins Erik Jones' hopes. He can pass Ryan Newman all he wants, but it doesn't matter. A Cup champion, a guy trying to establish himself in the Cup Series, and James Davidson caused the caution that would end this race. And yes, Ryan Newman would win Bristol. But that is part 2 for the Erik Jones series. I have no clue what drugs the pace car driver was on here, but yeah, that's it.